So next up, we're going to check out our man Shawn Fain and the UAW, where they've decided that they're sick of Stellantis, and as much they should be. And I keep telling you guys how Stellantis is just bad for Detroit, bad for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep. Stellantis is, and I say this over and over again, and I've been proven to be right, that Stellantis is like a corporate raider. It really seems like they've come in, made all these highfalutin promises like a politician, and not doing anything they said they were going to do. And not only that, they've started to let these companies wear and start to fade and start to not be successful to the point where it would give them much leeway to get rid of them. Much leeway. So let's check out what's going on with my man Shawn Fain.
And tonight, United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain is vowing to take action against Stellantis, including national strike action if the company does not honor previous labor commitments. During a Facebook live stream to members, Fain said the automaker is failing to live up to guarantees it made in the 2023 labor deal it reached with the union. That came after a 6-week strike last year. Fain said the union would be holding strike authorization votes at several locals in the coming days.
We are fully within our rights to enforce this agreement to the fullest extent. And we are prepared to take strike action to make Stellantis keep the promise.
This all comes after the UAW filed unfair labor practice charges against Stellantis yesterday. Stellantis has not responded to a request for comment on Fain's statement.
So, real quick, let's see what Stellantis' response was. I think we can pull this up real quick.
Fight rages on to restore life to the idled Belvidere Assembly Plant, and now leaders with United Auto Workers prepare action.
WIFR News reporter Sydney Stoffregan talks with one state lawmaker who says a strike not only puts pressure on the company, it solidifies a bond between workers.
UAW President Shawn Fain calls auto manufacturer Stellantis out, saying it's not keeping its promises, but the company says it still has time to make it happen.
We intend to fight like hell to make this company keep their promise.
That's United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain telling Stellantis he is done waiting around. Tuesday evening, the UAW announced plans to hold strike authorization votes against the automaker, claiming it hasn't held up its end of the 2023 deal.
An extra $1 billion on their bottom line is not going to be paid for with the lives of working class people. There comes a time when we have to stand up. For our UAW family at Stellantis, that time is now.
In a statement, Stellantis says it still has time within the 4.5 years of the agreement to meet the commitments, adding a strike doesn't benefit anyone. But State Representative Dave Vela says it will send a strong message.
The more you do that, the harder it is on the company and better it is on the workers. So it is advantageous for the company not to have a strike, to negotiate in good faith and to act in good faith.
While Stellantis says Fain has no proof the company isn't moving forward, Fain says his fight is far from over.
The truth is that every plant closure is a decision of corporate executives. Communities were decimated so an executive could buy another mansion. Families were ripped apart so rich shareholders could buy another yacht.
Local UAW 1268 President Matt Franzen says at this point there is nothing to report. He says their next step will be discussed next week in Detroit.
Thank you, Sydney. And according to Reuters, if the issue is not resolved, the union has 60 days to vote on whether or not to strike.
So, all right, my friends, yeah. So, man, this whole Stellantis situation is just becoming a major issue. And who the heck wrote up a contract that gave these fools almost 5 years to put this plant back up and running? I mean, my bigger issue is that this Belvidere plant should be a side note to the fact that other plants are losing worker after worker after worker. We've seen tens of thousands of other factory workers lose their jobs in the automotive industry in the last couple of months. And now Shawn Fain is deciding that he's going to, fight Stellantis over, the Belvidere plant. What is that like? I think it's like 1,600 people that work at that plant. It won't even put a dent in the losses that most automotive factories around the world have seen. I always think the UAW has fell off so bad, and this guy is as corrupt as the next. I mean, he's facing cases of his own, so he shouldn't be sticking his neck out anywhere. And then this cat had a nerve to have a boss's tears coffee cup. Man, come on, bro. He's not helping people. Fain is not helping the working man. He's not helping the working class man. He is literally helping to put the working class man out of a job in most of these factories. He's helping. That whole contract, the whole big thing contract that they did, it facilitated all of these firings and layoffs. That's what facilitated all these layoffs at the automotive factories. It facilitated them all because it demanded that these companies pay extreme amounts of money to these employees to the point where they couldn't afford to keep all the employees, so they start laying people off. It's as simple as fact as that. And I keep thinking about the whole, Biden-Harris situation of saying we have all these jobs that have been created. What about all these jobs that we've lost over the last couple of months? Specifically in the automotive industry. So many jobs lost over the last couple of months. And Stellantis ain't shit. I'm going to just say it like that. They're a corporate raider. They're destroying Chrysler. They're destroying Dodge. They're destroying Jeep. I suspect that those companies will be owned by BYD before the end of sometime next year. All right.